Welcome to today's edition of Just One Thing. And today we're going to be talking about improving the user experience of your website navigation. And essentially we're going to take a look at a couple of sites. One is going to have a user experience that's really not so good in the navigation. And we're going to take a look at a really good user experience provided by navigation as well. Okay, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Comment below and I will answer them after the presentation. And really, before we get started, I just want to give a quick definition of what user experience is. And user experience is the positive, negative, or neutral experience somebody has on your website, blog, or social media. Okay? And what a good experience can do, what a good user experience can do, is help people feel grounded as soon as they arrive on your website. It can help them know what I like to call the lay of the land, right? Kind of where they are, what to do next, what kind of benefits you can offer them. And that's real important. We want people to start to build trust with us as soon as they wind up on their website, on our website, before they actually talk to us. And that's what user experience can do. So with that said, let's take a look at what I like to call a nightmare of a navigation. And this one's got many issues. The first of which, there are actually 6 navigations on this website. This is the home page, okay? So let's just go through them quickly and talk about it a little bit. The first navigation actually isn't a navigation, it's an ad up here for Invisalign. The reason why I include this in the navigation issues of this page is because it is sitting in the prime real estate where a navigation should typically be. Okay? We all know that this is where navigations typically go, right? That's where we expect it. This is not delivering that. So that's the first issue. The second issue is this bar here, which again is kind of in that navigational hierarchy, in that area, causing more problems. Search box, totally fine, especially on a website like this. They can use a search box if somebody's looking for something specific. What I would say is that can easily move kind of next to the FAQ here in their main nav, right, and come out of that bar. And then the rest of these are what I like to call noise or distraction. And noise and distraction is always bad for the user experience. Why are these social media buttons noise? Because typically we want to use social media, one, to give good information to people who follow us on social, but also to drive people to our website. Okay, and having this in this prime real estate is counterproductive. Somebody clicks on Instagram and goes to that page, right, to that social media, then they've just left our website and they might not come back. So when clients come to us and they want to have this in their navigation or at the top of the page, we have a discussion about why and to see if it's really necessary. And typically it's not. Sometimes it is. There's always an exception to the rule. So that's our second navigational area. Here's our third, this sub-nav, which has got a few items in it. This is not necessary. This is something that can roll into your main navigation, which in this case is here, right? One of the issues with this fourth navigation, even though it's the main one, is they're using what's called a mega menu, which sometimes works if you're on J.Crew, LL Bean, Levi's. Those kind of websites can sometimes benefit from a mega nav because they have so many products and so many categories. Here, it's kind of overkill. As you can see, there's a lot of negative, unnecessary space, right? We scroll down a little bit and we wind up with not one, but 2 more navigations, right? Here's a sub-nav, which actually, as you click on it, just gives you different information in this one little box here. And then the 6th area is this course categories area, where this left-hand navigation really is not serving to clarify in as much as it is serving to add more noise and more confusion. So why is this important? What's the big deal? Well, when somebody comes to your website, in order to give a user experience, you want to kind of lower the brain function that they need to give out in order to understand what's going on. There's a user experience mantra of sorts that says, don't make me think. So anything that gets in the way of a smooth, easy understanding of where I'm at, what I need to do next, right, kind of makes me have to think about and process what's going on. We don't want your web pages, in other words, to be like a really hard math problem, okay? So that's your really not so great navigation. Let's take a look at something that is a much better navigation and look at why it's better. This happens to be on the Cuppa SEO website. Now here you'll notice what you've got is one navigation. There's no social media. There's no secondary navigation. It's very clean, clear, and straightforward. So I want to share two things with you here that are important when you look at your own website. One is when you look at your website navigation and think about the user experience, is your navigation in the right order or hierarchy? Let me explain. Your website has certain pages that are more important than others. Typically, your selling pages, like your product pages, your services pages, are going to be the most important. Because obviously without sales, without clients, there's no business, right? And that's why you always want to lead with your services or products, okay? So you'll see here we've got the Cuppa SEO little cup logo. We've got the name, which will bring me back to home. That's always all the way on the left. That's pretty traditional, and users expect that, all right? Next to that are my services, which come in a drop-down menu. And next to that is the book. These are the services and products that Cuppa SEO offers. So they lead. And then we kind of go down here and it becomes more informational. Just to give you a lay of the land, I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of speaking engagements. So appearances are something that somebody who might want to book me might want to come and take a look at. We've got a website gallery, tutorial videos. And then you've got your blog, and your blog is always going to sit closer to the right in this hierarchy, okay? Again, informational, and people expect the blog to be in this area. Then we come to about, and about is next to last because this is kind of very me-centric, right? About myself, about my team, our clients, and so on. So we want this to be toward the tail. We don't want this to take the area of prominence and say, flip it with services, right? People are coming to your website to solve a problem, to get a product, to ease their pain. Lead with that, and it'll help you generate more relationships and more clients. Last but not least is contact. Why is contact last? Because that's where, from a user experience standpoint, from testing and testing and testing, this is where people expect it to be. Don't disappoint them. Put it at the tail or on the right, and make sure you have a contact button in your tab, in your navigation. Because if it's not there, how are people going to get in touch with you? Don't expect them to go to the bottom of the page and go to your footer for that. All right. The other thing I want to share with you guys is the solution here that is a simple drop-down menu. If you've got more than one service, you've got to show it in some way. Here, as you can see, we've got like a visual breadcrumb trail where, depending on what I'm hovering over, I can actually see that visually, right, and choose what I want. Drop-down menus are a good solution if you've got some or sometimes many products or services. Now, what happens if you've got more than Cuppa SEO? How do you handle that? And I'm going to show you one solution that could be a good fit for you. Let's say if you're a company like maybe like a First Choice Dental, who we worked with for many years, about 5 or 6 years ago. They had many locations. Within those locations, they had many dentists. They also had a ton of different services, right? From root canal to Invisalign to just doing fillings and things like this, bridges and so on. So if you've got a little bit more of a complex website, you might need something called a Flyout Menu. So let me just show you what that looks like. Here's Cool View, which is a local business, and we worked on their website quite a few years ago now. They used to have a mega nav, kind of like J. Crew has, right? They pared down their business and said, listen, this is not what we want anymore. What should we do? So we did a traditional drop-down menu, again with these visual breadcrumbs, right? So we know exactly where we are. But you can see as soon as I go to sunrooms, they have many sub-pages that deal just with sunrooms. And in this case, there's an overview page. And then there's different types of sunrooms, right? So depending on my needs as a potential client who wants to hire Cool View, this gives me a really easy way to figure out, okay, you know what? I don't want sunrooms. I went to the wrong thing. I want pergolas. Let me go down to pergolas. I've got two options, an overview or a gallery. Porch enclosures, same deal, right? So I can really easily choose what I want with this flyout navigation. Now here's the thing. This is not something that we strive for. It's a solution that we use if we need it. And the reason why I say that is even though it's a good solution to have this flyout menu in the drop-down navigation, it does add another layer of complexity. So from a user experience point of view, if we can get away with just doing a drop-down menu, that's what we're going to do. And with user experience and navigation, it's always a question of what's the best solution right now for this website and the client's goals, right? And we kind of take it from there. And for Cool View, it was a drop down with a flyout. So I hope this helps you guys. Take a look at your user experience and your navigation and make improvements. Thanks for tuning in today. My name is Joey from Cuppa SEO Web Design, and have a wonderful day. Thanks very much.